Howdy, welcome back to episode 6 of our Seablock series here. Like I said in the last one, this episode we're going to be focusing on making steel, solder, and then bronze. So I think I've prepared most of what I'll need to get this done, but some of the things I may need to do are some gas things like this to make sure we have oxygen for our lead and then also for our steel. But I can craft those up just now, so we'll get 2 more of these and 2 more of these just in case. Ideally, I do want to move this setup up here down to here, just so it's a little more out of the way, and I think that's probably what I'll get started on now. So then we are routing it up rather than down, or sorry, down rather than up, which I think will be better for us in the long term. It'll hopefully mean that also I don't need to have a dedicated one for each. I can get away with multiple. So to start us out, let's see. I think the easiest thing to do would be to do these same ones here, then get one of these guys going here for solder. So I think solder will be the first one that we officially make. Let's see. Yeah, molten solder right here. So going to continue the no, I'm not, whoops. So I am going to continue my formula here, and the reason for that is because we're going to need these for multiple things. So iron we only need for iron for steel. That's the only thing we need iron for. But for solder we're going to need lead and tin. That's the only thing we need lead for too. So the lead, I will just route up to here. Okay, and that leaves us room to get tin in like this. Oh man, I need to make more inserters too. That's kind of a basic thing that I forgot. But yeah, I also, spent tons of time just letting all of these fill up, so we have a good stockpile of all the resources except for lead. We won't really need that much in plate form, so I kind of just let it be. Yeah. Okay, so yes, we need to. Let's just do an underground here, so we can actually wait. Does that power reach? Yeah, it does. Okay, so we'll do an underground here to power this. Let's just put all that in there, all of that in there. I'm continuing this. Oh, whoops. Okay, so we want to do something like that. Let's see, is this equal ratio? It is. Okay. That's not a problem. We'll have to make sure everything here gets powered. Should not be a problem, but I'm also going to do gases like this. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. So 10 I'm going to bring out to like here actually. And then we're going to want to split it. Half will go here. And then half will go towards bronze, which we'll do next. So we're going to have another one of these guys going here. We're going to make 10, and then this one here is going to make copper. And then similarly, we're going to do this guy here. And he's going to be doing, there we go, molten bronze. So as far as the charcoal goes, I definitely want 2 inserters on there for the 10. Or sorry, for the copper, and then only 1 set is probably fine here. But yeah. Okay, drop there for these guys. Alright. Oh wait, let's drop there for these guys. And pick up from there for these guys. There we go. And then let's see. I can't really do that, can I? Okay, yeah, so these guys will just have to do with 1 of each. we are going to add some areas here for our gas. So let's get this as far down as we can. Same for here. This one is just going to be a flare stack, so I'm not too worried about that. But and we want to have air filtration unit here. We want to have a chemical plant here. The separation, right? We want to use that and then flare stack this. Let's get that over. There we go. So now we're getting oxygen, and it looks like it's more than enough to keep it up, which means I'm going to try to reuse this for the steel as well, and we'll see if it's enough to keep up. Actually, it's not going very fast. I think I will just do its own thing for each of these. Let's see, so it would be like this. That would be like this. And we want to rotate that guy. There we go. Alright. I need to craft more pipes and stuff. That's okay. Let's just speed that up. Get those all crafted. I need more flare stacks, so I need 4 more flare stacks. Let's see. Missing the stone for that. I'll go get that. Apologize if I'm a little scatterbrained. It is rather late at night when I'm filming this, because I realized that I'm going to be a bit busy in the coming days, so I wanted to try to get another episode pre-recorded in. So the uploads may be a little sporadic these coming days, but we'll see. There we go. So now this one should be getting up and going. Yeah, I think it will. Okay, this one's up and going, that's fine. Alright, so now I said this guy comes in like this. Alright, and then we want copper next. I think I need to clean this guy up a bit to make it fit through here. Fine. Copper next. Nope, not like that. Okay. There we go. We got a bunch of extra of this. Alrighty. There we go. And then the last one we're gonna do is 2 blast furnaces like this, but it's literally just gonna be for iron, and then this one is gonna be for steel. So yeah. That. Alright. We're gonna have inserters on all of these. Let's get these all powered up. 2, 3. That's fine, probably. There we go. There we go. Okay. Okay. Get these guys pasted in. There we go. So these guys are all going. Good stuff. Last thing is to route the iron. And I do want to keep it how I have it right now, where I'm prioritizing us getting, like, you know, pure plates of this stuff. Especially for iron and copper, because with how all of the buildings are in this game, right, where they're, or where you, you know, need just this one needs the belts here. But how you need the previous one to make the upgraded one, it doesn't make sense to you know, not be prioritizing the base material at all. I don't know if I did a good job of explaining that, but essentially, right, if we're always going to need the base material, it makes no sense to make the other one until we know we are going to have enough of the base one. Yeah, that's kind of my thought process on that. Later on, it won't be as much of an issue because we'll be producing much more sludge and we'll have more of these crystallizers and everything. But until then, we are sort of just, you know, making enough so that we're producing stuff to scale outward. So I'm really kind of less worried about, okay, we're oh my gosh, my train of thought just completely evaporated. Oh yeah, okay, sorry. I'm less worried about how much we're actually making. I'm more worried about the fact that we are making it, right? Especially in the beginning here, it is kind of just a waiting game for a lot of the time, right? You can only expand so fast, and it's really not a horrible thing to take your time in the early game and just expand up at a reasonable rate, because I think that the issues that you get a lot of the time, this is solder, will really be nasty whenever you kind of try to overexpand, right? You have issues with the power spiraling, you have issues with lots of things like that. Versus, you know, if you expand at a slow but steady rate, kind of like I have been, in my experience, you're a little better off. You have way less stress on your factory, right? And it's like you could explosively grow, but you know, then you're dealing with the fact that you got to explosively expand everything, right? Like your power has to expand in manners that you're probably not ready for. So I've probably been a little over expansionist on my power, just because I know that crawling your way back from like that death spiral where you're producing less power than you need, which causes your, you know, power consumption things that actually require power to have to produce less because they have lower power, and you just keep self-feeding that cycle, and it's really dangerous. So having seen that, I very much want to try to future-proof as much as possible and make sure that anything that I'm building is sustainable, right? Actually, just noticed, I think these guys are... Oh, no, that's why. Yeah, so we're not actually making 1.1. How much are we making here? Let's see. Yeah, so we're making 0.9 per, so 0.9 times 8 is 7.2. So in theory, all of these guys going at max output would fill up one of these gray belts, which is fine because we're about to have yellow belts. Or, well, we have all the stuff to make yellow belts, right? So these are twice as fast. Also, you know, that's the big thing with 10, right, is you need 10 for a lot of the upgraded things. So 10 is going to be really nice because it'll get us the ability to upgrade our belts. We don't need upgraded belts everywhere, but it would be nice to have them in a couple of places. As you can see, kind of the area that's lagging the most is our crystallizing efforts. So in the future, I think it wouldn't be bad for us to expand that out. Okay. So I will say, now that we have iron, I am going to do something a little stupid, but is kind of necessary for, you know, expanding and everything, which is we are going to get this guy going. Output priority right for later. I need to create a bunch of belts. So let's just queue all these up. Just making a butt load here. Alright. Oh no, that's not a corner I can do. I'm gonna have to fill it in. That's a bummer. Well, I'll sacrifice our looks a little here. Okay, so this guy's gonna have to become that. This guy's gonna have to become that. And this guy will become that. Okay, throw in the random ores that I picked up. Alright. And if you'll remember, you'll probably remember now that I'm right by the wood, what I said I was going to use this for. So this is going, I don't know what that pipe is for, but it is going. And it is going to go to be the saw blades for our wood farm that we set up last time. Like I said, I don't expect this to take up a large amount of of iron at all. Oh, and it actually looks like something stopped in our wood farm, so we'll have to go check that out. While I'm here, I'm gonna harvest these though. I imagine it's the same thing we experienced before, where we just have the saw blades bogging everything up. And luckily that'll fix once we are actually producing green circuits, which will be pretty soon here now. But yeah. Once we're actually producing green circuits, we'll have filter inserters, which will be really nice. Alright, there we go. So now, oh, whoops, I did not mean to do that. We can have our assembly machine here. Feed into it there. We can take back that chest with iron plates. Okay. So our problem is saw blades being right here, filling up this. How do I fix that? So, I mean, really the answer is filter inserters, isn't it? Like, unfortunately, that's the answer. Yeah, the answer is filter inserters. Okay, well, in the meantime, what I'll do is set up a belt balancer down here. There we go. So at least we'll fill up our belts from one side, but yeah, we kind of just need filter inserters for this. So it probably wouldn't be a bad thing for me to go get the materials to make 8 filter inserters. And really the big thing that we'd be making for that is green circuits. Do we have a problem here? Oh yeah, okay. It's just not getting much because our chest isn't full, which makes sense. Is it full now? No. Let's just put in a bunch there. There we go. So that'll help fill it up. But yeah, we won't get much going this way until that chest is full, but just the fact that we've gotten some going down there is good enough. Yeah, I mean, obviously you can see the trickle in of the crystallized stuff is not enough. So ideally we'd have like double what we currently have, and I just, didn't plan the space for it. Especially because I don't think we're even touching the amount that we're doing. And we can look at that here in our production sets. We go to fluids. I should speed down. But if we go for past 10 minutes and we look at slag slurry produced versus, So I don't think we're consuming more than we're producing at all. But yeah, let's see. We can look over 10 hours how much we produce. So, oh, well, our problem was we did it in thirds, right? We unloaded it in thirds, so I don't think we'll actually see it in that. But, I mean, obviously we're producing the amount that we're using right now. So that's not too bad. You can see water is what we make and use the most of, which I'm not surprised about, but yeah. Yeah, let's see. So next thing's up, automating brown circuits, then automating green circuits. So I am going to pull the wood here down to the end of our line. So, oh, whoops, okay, we're going to do that. I also want charcoal on the belt, and that reason will become evident soon. Oh, whoops. Yeah, I'm fine with this being down here. We're getting steel, we're getting bronze, and we're getting solder, so that's all good for me. Yeah, the iron is all getting consumed right now with this, which is fine. I may just speed this up, in fact, so that we can get it going. But it's all going to the backlog right now, which is pretty big. Are we like completely backed up? No, we're not. We're just backed up on wood, which is fine. Unfortunately, I wish I could just, limit the amount of iron that goes down here, but without like circuit networks, I don't think there's really a good way to do that. Oh, I should also, give fair warning for the Factorio pros that watch these, if there are any. I'm probably going to use really low uses of both circuits and trains. I'm going to try to use trains, but in all my other Factorio playthroughs I've done, vanilla or not vanilla, I mean, I kind of avoid trains like the plague. Like in my vanilla playthrough, I ran like, a 5,000 long belt instead of doing a train because I didn't want to have to learn how to do trains and I knew how to do belts. I know that's not, the best at all. So I will be trying to avoid falling into my usual pit traps of just doing everything with belts and trying to do trains as much as I can. Especially in this, I think, one of the best ways to do things would be to load mineral sludge onto fluid trains and then drop that off at each of the different materials and then take all the materials and drop them off into their respective areas for fabrication, because we're going to need quite a lot of stuff to make a respectable amount of science. So if I want to make 1 science per second or whatever of each of the sciences, it's going to require a lot of stuff. I mean, 1 science per second is probably not the best metric, because that's not too much. I think that's like, at least for red science, it's pretty low, and green science, it's pretty low, but we're going to need to ramp up our science production pretty high in the late game. Yeah, I am just going to zip by this for a bit, just make sure we're producing stuff. Bronze is still getting filled up. Bronze is pretty close to full. Steel is nowhere near close to full since we're just now sending things there, and it's 1/4 efficient. So for every 4 iron we put in, we get 1 steel out basically, which is not great. Oh, actually, I think it's 1/8 efficient because it goes 24 to 8 or 12. We can check that here. Oh no, okay, yeah, it's just 1/4 efficient because we go from 24 to 6, which sucks, but it is what it is. And I think, there's also something I can do here where I just cap it off there, so that we're not storing forever. I just realized I should put these, I always make that mistake. I always try to move around and times 64 speed, and I always fail, but it never stops me from doing it again another time. Oh, whoops, saw blades. Let's put these guys there. Not that it mattered, but yeah. Okay. So yes, brown circuits are next. Luckily that's pretty simple, right? So we go here, we're gonna make wood boards and then just copper wire to go into that. Yeah, I think I showed this last time, but wood, we can use it for small electric poles, wooden boards, wooden chests, compost, and then some stuff that's way later down the line with polishing wheels. And eventually we'll make this earth science or whatever. The cellulose fiber recipe, I haven't really looked into if it's more efficient than the one I currently use. By doing the green algae and everything, there's a chance that, you know, you get way more bang for your buck by making your cellulose out of wood. I just don't know that. So I'm not too sure on that. Long story short, basically, I am comfortable with replacing this wood downstream with just something that makes wood boards. So it turns all of our wood into wood boards and loads that onto a bus. Speaking of bus, I think it's time we start forming one. So I am going to consolidate all of these guys into a bus. And yeah, that's going to be the world's smallest bus, but we'll have something. Alrighty. And yeah, like I said, these last ones are kind of just tangential products. They're not the most important, but they oh my gosh, words. They are getting used. So I'll show you, for example, solder here. Solder gets used in circuit boards, advanced circuit boards, all the circuit boards, modules, RoboPort stuff. Like, solder is going to be used in an insane amount of stuff. And this current recipe that we're using is not going to stay. We do get, like you can see, we have tons of different stuff that we use solder for. Most of these, I think, are actually not in the pack, but it's whatever. Luckily, at least, we will get better recipes for solder. So we'll be able to make it, so solder coils are the best, form of it. And then we can make those from molten solder. And like you can see here, we can get different recipes that are going to yield more. So it's worth it to just use those. Especially this tin and zinc one. We'll get zinc eventually as an off product of one of the ore mixings that we use. So it's good to use here. But yeah. Oh, okay, I was like, why is steel not producing? But that's right, because we added this belt here. The iron had to take over for a bit. But essentially, we're not going to be doing too much with solder besides green circuits for now. But nevertheless, it is all getting put onto this main bus here. Same with bronze. It isn't. Oh no. It isn't really used. Oh my gosh, I keep replacing the same one I'm taking apart. It's not used for much right now. Same for steel, not really used much right now. But it will be getting used later. So a lot of the upgraded buildings and everything require certain pipes. So some of them that they require are brass pipes. Some of them that they require are steel pipes, things like that. I'm trying to find a good example. But it'll probably be these upgraded ones, if anything. So yeah, that's not it. But it shows steel gears. That's close to what I'm talking about. Yeah. Stuff like that. So upgraded versions will sometimes just require specific piping, things like that, that make it particular that it's nice to just mass produce the pipes and then feed them in. Eventually, once we get more than this trickle of stuff coming in, I will make, our first kind of mall, And there's actually a pretty cool way to do it that I saw another person do in their playthrough that I'll be emulating, where you basically can dump it into like warehouses and then control with circuit networks what gets passed through. So once we have circuit networks, that's when we'll, really be starting to take control of how much we can automate, which is going to be nice. Actually getting a mall going that'll make some of the, foundational things. So we'll auto-produce our algae farms, auto-produce our electrolyzers, things like that will be really nice. Meantime, I'm just going to do some basic automation stuff. So like I said, I'll be doing these basic circuits. First things first, I'm just turning all of this wood that we have now into, here, let's see, how much wood are we actually making? We're making 7 wood. So, yeah, we're making 7 wood, and let's see, this recipe is 1 wood every half second. This is half speed. So in theory, we would need 7 of these to cut it down. So I'm going to go make 7 inserters, or sorry, 7 assembly machines. I don't know what I just clicked there to pull that up. What's it, settings? No? What did I click to get this stuff? Oh, I clicked that, didn't I? Yeah, that's it. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to grab some iron here. And we want 7, so 10 is probably good, just so that we have extra. And then what I'm going to do up here is basically we'll have this guy going that way. Let's see, we'll have inserters going here. Alright, and I can redo this better, but 2, brain is slow right now. There we go, so that's 4 inserters, or 4 assemblers, 5, 6, 7, okay, there we go. Alrighty, so there we go. Get those guys all powered, but then we'll have 1, 2, 3 assemblers, belts here. I'm out of belts again. I'm going through so many belts this episode. Alright, there's 5 of them. I'm going to speed up so we can finish all this crafting. Alrighty, 6, 7. Okay, get this guy going down to here. Copy all of this. Oh, I'm out of inserters too. Jesus. I'm flying through everything out here. Alright, there we go. But yeah, I'm actually going to be, I think I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be a little busy this week. And that's just because it is the World Championship. Oh my, oh wait, no, that's fine, that's Seal. It's going to be the World Championship for the robotics team that I mentor. So it'll be really cool for them to be able to go to Worlds and see all of that. So I'm really excited for them. They obviously put in the work to get there, and I did high school robotics when I was in high school. So it's really cool to be able to be on the other side and get to pass everything along to, the next generation. And obviously, I think they really earned it, and couldn't be more proud of them. And it'll be really cool to see all their hard work pay off. We're probably not going to do very well at Worlds, but just the fact that we got to go is, big honor, right? Okay, so I'm going to need way more assemblers. I don't know why I only made this many, thinking about it now. Let's just craft a bunch of these because I'm going to be using these quite a bit. Okay, so the way that I'm going to do this bus is basically anytime I need to pull something out, it's going like this. We're bridging up, pulling these over. So Actually, I want to think about how I'm doing this. So I think we want to pull copper like this. We don't want to move the wood circuits like this just yet. So I think what we want to do is, let's see, I don't know the ratios for these. So I'm going to look in here at how we're making the copper wire. So you make 2 wire per second in the current crafter, right? And then this takes 3 wire. Okay, so we need 3 to 2 for this. So going 1, 2, oh, okay, I see our problem here. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. Oh man, I'm like 1 too low. All right, we'll have to move this copper guy up. That's okay. I think we want to do it up 2, so I'm gonna clear all that out and then go like this. And the reason I'm not doing iron is because I think I can just automate something in that side. So we'll go out like here. Okay, then we want 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. And then I actually just want to delete this here, and we will. Let's see, how many wood boards does it take per thing? Oh, it just takes 1 per. So I'll actually flip these guys around. These guys will pick up from there. This guy will drop there, and then we'll go like this. So these are all going to be crafting copper wire. There we go. Run that along. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And I can actually power these guys all like that, and then we'll go something like this, this, and power it there. Okay, and then we need copper wire from these guys, so there, there. Pick up from top, pick up from top. Okay, there we go. So these guys are now feeding into here, and then I just need to do one there, pick up there, pick up there. Okay. And then hopefully these guys are getting that. Yeah, and then they're crafting. Good, cool. So that's one set. I would like to have, oh, whoops, I forgot a kind of important step of this, which is, whoops. I'm just messing this all up. Probably a sign that I need to go to sleep after this. But the important step I missed was this splitter. There we go. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna copy this guy over to there. Oops, I don't need to go to that extreme. Okay, there we go. But now we should be creating more of these, which is not a bad thing. Yeah, so there we go. So now we got green circuits, or sorry, brown circuits going. The next step would be green circuits, but I think just for quality of life, I would like to be automating some things like normal belts. I don't have stone on a belt here, but yeah. I think that's probably what I'll do is automate these guys next. So I'll do gears into assembler. We'll just keep running the iron plates up here. 1, 2. 2. These guys are making gears. This guy is making belts. Power from there. Alright, cool. So now we're making belts. These guys I'm going to be running into a chest. Eventually I will be automating these, but just for now I'd rather just kind of automate the belt. I can make these later. So we have that. I'd also like to automate inserters. So that may be also what I do over here. So these guys are pretty similar to this. So I am just gonna essentially, let's see here. There we go. Whoops. Get splitter going. Alright, there we go. And then we'll do an assembler here. Feeds that in. And then we'll do this guy here for assemblers. Okay. And then it is okay, whoops. I don't need that. I need to go there, and then let's see if I can move that up. I can. Okay, cool. And then we'll go there. Alright, this guy's making gears. Okay, let's see. Is this guy getting enough of everything? It looks like it. So it looks like everything's keeping up well. That's good. And now we have assemblers and belts getting made, and I'm gonna cap those at that just so that we don't overproduce. But I mean, clearly we're producing more than we're using right now for a lot of things, but yes, we now have kind of our fundamental belts and automation of a couple of things, which is nice. Obviously, next step is upgrading our oh my gosh, I just messed everything up there. Ability to be doing, oh, let's see, this is like completely full. Yeah, next would be upgrading our ability to be doing iron plates and everything like that by increasing these crystallizers. Let me look into it right now. I don't know if it would be possible or not. Down here is where we have the biggest squeeze for it, right? So let's see, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's see, do we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I guess we could fit them doubled up. 10 would be there. So I guess we could. Let's see, how many more would I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, I don't need to double up this one, so I would just need 8 more of these guys, crystallizers. That's not too bad. I think I can do that. We'll see. Oh, and I should actually be using my stockpiles over here, if I have them. I don't have iron over here, do I? Okay. I am going to drop those back in here. Or actually, no, I'm not. I am going to drop all that wood in there, because I don't think I'll ever need all that. Let's see, any other junk I can go to? Oh, yeah, I can put up these in our organics thing. I can add more tree farms now. Yeah, most of the stuff I'm good keeping on me. Let's see. I want to make more crystallizers, so I need more iron here. I said 8, I think, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. So 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. Okay. And then we're gonna have to drastically change how this is done. But, you know, small price to pay and everything like that. Some of these are fine. So maybe what I do is I start with the ones that are actually needing it right now. So these 4 I'll turn into 2. So let's disconnect these guys and then work on this. So let's see. theory, don't need this going all the way over here. Okay, so we want to have 1 and then 2. So I'll keep 1 there at 1 lower. Alright, and do number 2. Go. Oh, it can't go there, can it? It's just barely not able to. That's okay, because this whole thing could be lower by 1. So I will change that. So let's reduce this whole thing by 1. I don't think it reaches, right? Yeah, it doesn't. There we go. Okay, so now we can do 1, 2, and we can do 1, 2. And then, yeah, so we have this going up here. We're going to have to do a belt like that, and then a belt like that. Shoot, how am I going to power these things? That's another question I have. Huh. Let's see, maybe if I move this guy down 1, right, and then I go there, and then I go... Oh, that's no, okay. There may be a flaw in this plan that is, you know, showing its face right now. Okay, if I do a gap of 1 there, and then a gap of 2 there, and then I do a gap of 1 there, is that better? Let's see. Yes. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah. Aha. Okay. And now I just need to figure out what this guy was doing. What was this guy? Oh, no. I've just connected power to everything. Okay, there we go. This guy was doing... Which one is it? It's the second one here. So this was doing strontium and stereotype. So strontium and stereotype. 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 Okay. Oh my gosh, I don't think I can connect all of these with pipes, can I? I'm gonna have to get creative. Which I don't like having to do. Okay, there we go, that guy there. Okay. Okay, so these guys I can get, I think. That's not too big of a deal. Okay, there we go. This one may be a bit of a challenge. Let's see. No, this is fine. It's definitely messier. And if it wasn't just these two that needed it, it would be... or these two sets that needed it, it would be way worse, for sure. So let's get rid of this area here. Connect the power back up. Okay, so we want 1, 2. We can move this guy, for sure. We can move that guy out of the way. Okay, and then we want to... let's see. Let's learn from our mistakes. No, you know, this worked okay, honestly. It wasn't too bad. So I think I'll do the same thing. It really wasn't that bad. Let's see. Yeah. So there we go. Wait, if I go to here, I think that may be better. Let's see. That's powered. That's powered. Both of those are powered. I actually think we're good. Oh, look at that. Okay, so let's look at what each of these guys was doing. I know it was Givelite and Sapphire, I think, but I want to make sure. Yeah, Givelite on the bottom, or sorry, on the right, and then Sapphire on the left. So Givelite on the right. Light on the right. Okay, there we go. Pick up from there. And this guy is doing Givelite. This guy is also doing Givelite, and we can copy that. Okay, and then this guy is going to the left and picking up from the left, and we can copy that to there. And this guy is doing Sapphire. So there we go. Okay. Okay, and then here we go. We got this guy here. He already has a bunch there. So go like that. Alright, and then the way they did this was that and that. Or I did this was that and that. I picked up there and there. Oh no, whoops. Pick up there and there. Okay, and then once this guy has done enough for me to put all of these in here. Okay, which is almost done. Alright, now that that's done, I'll rotate that to get it. Okay, and then now, let's see, are these all hooked up? Yes, they are. Good stuff. So now we've technically doubled our iron and copper. You know, what it actually translates to, we'll see, right? We can actually check that, can't we, though? We can check on here. Let's slow down time. Items, past 10 minutes. Let's look at iron plates. So we were making 85 at the peak, and now we're making... Oh no, what? Uh-oh. Oh, that's probably because we had a backlog. So 51 was our operating, and now we're around 90-ish. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. We are consuming way more than we're making, but... Yeah. Or we have been consuming more than we've been making in the past bit, but that's okay. But yeah, look at that. We're making inserters, we're making belts, and we have brown circuits as well. Speaking of which, I should probably put the some of those onto or into a chest, just so that we're storing them. For the meantime. And I can do this down there. It doesn't need to be up here. It can be like right here. There we go. So we'll do that. I don't want to store too many, so let's do like that. So I think that's 600 total that we'll be storing. But clearly we're doing okay on that. Our wood's still doing fine, so that's good. Like I said, I do want to get green circuits going eventually, but that'll take a bit for us to do, and I'll probably have to do another expansion over here, because like I said, we had to make these basic electronic components, we had to make the electronic circuit boards, and then we actually have to make the circuits themselves, and that's all kind of a rather consuming process, right? Luckily, our bus is set up in an okay way where we need these, we don't need these two, we need these two, and then we need those two. So, I don't think it'll be too much of a hassle to have to make everything for that. So, I'm not too worried about it. I will say, though, that it's coming up on the time for the end of the episode. So, we got quite a bit done this episode, honestly. We did our solder, we did our brass, and bronze, sorry, and then we did our steel. We also automated our brown circuits, our belts, and our inserters. All of that I'm pretty happy with. We also more automated our wood farm, so that it's no longer just feeding off the chest. We actually have iron going in to feed it, which is good. in the next episode, I'm probably going to be working on power infrastructure because we're getting close to that 30-watt limit, which I don't like. So, between episodes, probably expect that I have upgraded this line here to be yellow belts all the way throughout up until the splitter. And then I will have probably added basically double what we currently have down here. Well, actually, I can't do that because we're running out of steam or boiler space here, aren't we? So instead of that, I will probably be, yeah, see, we really need this technology, steam engine 2 and boiler 2. We kind of need that. That'll help us a bit, saving on space, but I'll actually probably end up moving this stuff to the edge of here if I have room. In fact, let's see. Do I? No, not at all. So maybe it requires bridging the gap, which I don't really want to do. I like having the nice gaps for aesthetic purposes. So let's see. I can just change the design, honestly. It doesn't need to be like this. Yeah, ultimately I'll probably add more of these up above and then do some sort of science-y thing to make it so that I'd fit these in this side area here, just to save space. Yeah, and then I'll route the coal all the way down and around, which I don't think will be too bad, but that's likely what I will be doing between episodes, is upgrading the power, and then, yeah, making all this yellow belt so it can carry more. And then in the actual next episode itself, I would say expect us to work on automating green circuits, and then ultimately green science. So I think we need green circuits for this, right? Oh, we don't. What? We don't need green circuits for green science? Okay. Oh, and then also red science stuff. But I would say in the next episode, plan primarily on watching us make green circuits. And then after that, if we have time, working on red and green science, getting those set up and automated, and then fed directly to a lab. I would say that is a reasonable expectation for what is in the next episode. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying this so far. Like I said, I'll be busy the next couple of days, so I'm not too sure how many more episodes I'll be getting out. But yeah, wanted to at least get a couple more in. So hopefully I should have them up until Wednesday, but that's a little iffy. Yeah. But see you in the next one.